Hello, this is Brian again. Part number 2. So I'm at another junction with the DAR Trail. That's where I left off, right underneath the Torrey Pine. But the DAR Trail also goes along this way. And there's another plant. Kind of a narrow endemic species. Neoeridium demosum. Forgot about this plant for some reason. It's a bushroot. Also called coastal spice bush, which also grows in the foothills. I've seen it on McGinty Mountain. That's a little ways inland. Speaking of endemics, Del Mar Manzanita, Arctostaphylos glandulosa, subspecies crassifolia. This one is a narrow endemic subspecies of Eastwood Manzanita. That's only found here, basically coastal San Diego County, roughly about here, maybe scattered in a few spots, maybe perhaps in Baja. So if you want a place for an interesting day of botany, you found it, most certainly. You have most certainly found it. This is an extremely interesting botanical area. And of course, yellow flowers, that's golden yarrow. Again, we're right near the coast, maybe about a half a mile inland from the ocean. We're a little bit further inland than the main part of the reserve, but I like that area too. Been there many times as a kid, but it's always so crowded there. So we got these little miniature canyons here. So actually, honestly, if I compare the both of them, honestly, I actually like the extension area better. It's quieter, and there's even more variety here. Not to say that there's no variety over there. There most certainly is. Beautiful trails over there. And you can actually hike to the beach, or up from the beach to the top of the ridge. But I tend to prefer this area. A little more secluded. Lusher and taller Torrey pines. That's always a good thing. Less crowds. People definitely love coming here, but it's not nearly as insane as the main part of the reserve. This place is actually part of the state park system. State park. Can't even talk correctly. State park system. We're on the Mar Scenic Trail. That's the name of this one. We're almost at the top of the ridge. It's very easy incline. Last part will get you huffing a little bit, but we've got very old growth coyote brush. Look at that. Look at the stems on that. These are old coyote brushes. I'm trying to be a little quieter because people live over here. Might be still sleeping. We're at one of the neighborhood access points, actually. Right up here. I'm not sure what road this is. Okay. I gotta find the main trail. Well, the trail that goes up towards there's a trail that goes to that side of the canyon. Oh, and look at this. Look how big this laurel sumac is. Wow. Beautiful. So I guess I better find a trail. There's a trail that goes that way. Very old coyote brushes. These things are huge. They can get quite large. They're very fast growing shrubs. These are their seedlings all over the ground, and they spread like wildfire. I'm just gonna see if I can find a trail that goes off that way. Like I said, it's been a few years since I've been here, so might be a few spots that I'm a little forgetful of, but yeah. It is gorgeous over here. That looks like some of these Torrey pines. I don't know if those are annual needle sheds, but I'm afraid a bark beetle's really been ravaging these trees. Some of these might be shedding their old needles. Sometimes you'll see that on trees. The needles will start shedding off and stuff. These little sandstone canyons. This is all marine sedimentary soil. I want to say it's called Torrey. I think it's called Torrey sandstone. I think that's the name of this this rock. I think that's the name that geologists call it. I think this is Torrey sandstone, but I could be mistaken. If I am and you know better, drop a comment correcting me. Yeah, my goal is to get to the other side of the ridge. I don't feel like walking the neighborhood streets because there are other neighborhood access points from on top. My goal is to get to the other side over there. There's a school somewhere over there, and there's another ridge line on that side where there are some more. There's a ridge line trail. The ridge line, the only thing over there is there's a power line. It might kind of detract a little bit from the natural beauty, but there's a nice stand of Torrey pines over there as well. So that might be something worth checking out. Well, it is for me. I'm planning to try to see if I can find the trail that connects to the other side. Like I said, this trail connects to some other spots, but maybe first I'll take a hike along the DAR Trail, Daughters of the American Revolution. You get some pretty nice scenery along this way too. Hopefully towards the end I'll be able to re-find the one trail that branches off a little bit more towards this. I think it's the south side of the preserve where the ridge line is. Beautiful ridge over that way, and some great stuff over there. Here's another relatively narrow endemic species, Xylococcus bicolor, Mission Manzanita. That's another large woody shrub you'll find around here too. You might be able to find summer holly too, Comerostaphylos diversifolia, subspecies diversifolia perhaps. Don't think I've seen it here yet, but get more California figwort, more Mojave yucca. Love these guys. Always loved Mojave yuccas ever since I was a kid. Always thought they were really cool. Another Mission Manzanita in the background there. I would say we're still technically in coastal sage scrub, but even Chemise, which is known as your #1 chaparral shrub, also invades coastal sage scrub as well, or grows in coastal sage scrub. Here it is. Here's the coastal Chemise in bloom. This one's leaves are a little longer and maybe a little closer to variety fasciculatum, but they are still a little bit fleshy, so I'm still considering this variety of obtusifolium. There's even bush poppy on the ridge line. I didn't realize that grew here either. I didn't realize bush poppy grew here. Dendromicum rigida. I don't remember seeing that here. And then we got chaparral prickly pear right here. Looks like we got some beautiful Opuntia auricola. You'll find that a lot of times in coastal and near inland chaparral, and especially coastal sage scrub. More Croton californicus. More yerba santa. Here's more Neoridium demosum. California spice bush, or bush rue. That's the name I usually use, bush rue. It's in the rue family, Rutaceae, so it's related to citrus. And the plant has a very citrusy aroma. However, people are cautioned to be aware that the plant can cause a rash upon contact. Some people with sensitive skin might experience what they call photophytodermatitis, especially when exposed to light. I guess can cause a rash from contact with bush rue. So touch at your own discretion. Lots of golden yarrow here. Very, very, very nice. And here we are, Rhamnus crocea, spiny redberry. Lots of yuccas here too. That's the one thing I like about, especially this trail. You get a lot of Mojave yuccas along here. We still got some nice, hefty, juicy, thick Torrey pines here. There we go, Yucca scadigera. Mojave yuccas. One thing I haven't seen is chaparral yucca, Hespero yucca whippley. It's one plant I have not seen here. It does grow in the coastal areas sometimes. That looks like a coast prickly pear right there. Opuntia littoralis. Could be at least 2 species of prickly pear here. Possibly a third, which would be more of a hybrid. And some mourning doves. Sometimes I think these steps are tougher to get around than just walking on the slope. I want to say that is Sandman. I think it is Cardionema ramosissimum, I think that's what that plant is. Sandman or something like that. That's what it looks like. I'm trying to remember what family it's in. It's kind of a small, kind of spiky little plant that grows in sandier soils, especially near the coast. There we go. Rock rose. Used to be known as Helianthemum scoparium, but now I think it's Crocanthamum scoparium. My last couple videos in the Santa Ana Mountains, I saw a heap ton of it. This disturbed area. Ceanothus varicosis. That's another endemic plant found here. A lot of endemism here. I think it's one of the reasons. Ooh, Dahlia lanceolata. I think that's what that is. Looks like it. You'll find that here too. You'll see some Dudleys along the DAR Trail. You get a good ocean view coming up. Oop. Bush poppy, Dendromicon rigida. You can hear the ocean waves from here. So really close to the beach, further inland than the main part of the reserve, but like I said, I like this area even more. We're bounded by Chemise on both sides of the trail. Here they are. Ooh, I can hear a woodpecker. Yeah, okay, so we are gonna start seeing some dead trees here and there, so just be prepared. If you're a tree lover like me, it might get a little tough to bear at times. When I was here the first time, there wasn't a huge die-off. There we got some more Delmar Manzanita popping up again. I want to get this plant on film for a while. One thing, I do love this trail. This is a beautiful trail. Well, you see the outcrops over there on that side of the canyon. That's where the ridgeline and power line area is. Actually has some pretty nice stuff over there. Torrey Pines State Reserve. Memorial Grove. So this trail kind of winds around here, or you can just cut through. There's a bench there to kick it. So now, yeah, see some of the casualties of the bark beetles. It's so cool hearing woodpeckers over here. Probably Melanurpis formicivorus, the acorn woodpecker. There's a lot of coastal deer broom here too. I love it. Late spring flowers. That's it. If you are a California native plant enthusiast, I'm telling you, this place is going to knock your socks off if you've never been here before. It's still knocking mine off right now. It's always find it a treat to be over here. And of course, we got buckwheat getting ready to bloom. Aragonum fasciculatum, variety fasciculatum. And the beautiful Chemise. Really kicking into high gear right now. Again, this is the coastal Chemise. This is variety obtusifolium, not the typical variety that you see on my other hiking videos in the foothills and mountains. It's gorgeous over here. That's the canyon. See, that's the Mar Scenic Trail. Cuts through the canyon bottom and it goes up the canyon, meets up in that little neighborhood. I forget what street that is. I've seen it on Google Earth. Here we got Dahlia lanceolata starting to bloom. Lovely. Springtime is definitely a fantastic time to come here. I'm telling you, springtime is probably the best. But things evolve differently during the course of the spring. Early spring, you know, other plants are blooming, and salvias are still blooming now, of course. But later spring, like May and maybe June, is we're going to start seeing some of the other stuff like buckwheat, chemise. And here's another narrow endemic that I kind of missed the bloom on it, but the plants haven't died back completely yet, thank God. This is called sea dahlia right here. Look at that ferny foliage. It's kind of fleshy, succulent in texture. It's another sunflower family relative. It's Leptocinae maritima. It used to be known as Coreopsis maritima. This plant has these little yellow sunflowers, kind of similar to bush sunflower. Kind of similar, you know, the same flower heads. You got radiate. You can tell it's got the old ray florets, and these used to be the disc florets. And right now they're going to seed, and then the stems are gonna die back to the roots. The roots are perennial, but the stems and leaves are seasonal. And this is more I'm pretty sure this is Cardionema ramosissimum. I'm pretty sure this is Sandman. This definitely looks like it. I've seen pictures of it. Never seen it in person, but it's definitely a plant you'll find along sandy trails and hard packed soiled sometimes. So now we're going to be heading into another canyon. We're going to be heading into another canyon on this side here, where, well, I'll get back to you in part number 3. It's about to hit the 20.5-minute mark, so clip number 3 I'll take off from there.